You know, it's just occurred to me we really haven't had a completely successful test of this equipment.
I blame myself. So do I.
No sense worrying about it now.
The Rock of Salvation, 107.1 KOUJ LP, Norman, Oklahoma.
KOUJ 1071, KJ.org. It is 8 p.m., so you know what time it is. It is time to go to the phone lines. Who are we speaking with? Hello?
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 Hello.
How we doing tonight, guys and gals?
Doing
Good.
good. Doing great.
So we have Adelaide on the phone with us tonight to talk about all things music, faith, and upcoming shows. And one of the things we want to start off right out with is tell us something about Adelaide that we do not know.
Ooh. Eric, you want to go? Yes. Adelaide, the band, is not based out of Adelaide, Australia.
There you go. I have no idea where Adelaide, Australia is, but so where are you guys based out of?
Garrett, you want to take this one? Yeah. So we're
Oh, that's a trick question.
we're based out of southeast Missouri, kind of Cape Girardeau area. So we all kind of originate from that area, and that's, that's kind of where we meet to do all our practices, and we record with the studio down there, and so got good connections there. So
Sweet. So, we came together, we talk about tonight and some of the stuff we got going on. We're going to debut a brand new song from you guys. But you have a song right now and a video out for Strong and Brave. So let's kind of talk about that real quick. So what's going on with that? And because it's got had a lot of radio play, very radio friendly. The video was produced really well. So whose concept was that? And give us a little feedback on Strong and Brave.
Well, I really wish Jake was on the line for this one. So the recording studio that we use is actually Walker Bros Studio out of Bernie, Missouri, and our producer is Cody Walker, and Cody Walker kind of came up with this really cool idea with my husband, kind of collaborated on the idea of the kind of the theme or the visual heart behind what the song means and how best to portray what unity looks like. So you see multiple people in this video that are actually from local churches, but they're not all from the same church. So they represent different churches in our community, different ages, ethnicities, social backgrounds and everything like that. So it was really fun. I think the guys had a lot of fun with the paint powder.
That's awesome. I love that you said that you went to different churches and stuff to shoot this video, had different people involved in it, because one of the things I think is very important, and, I do youth ministry myself for Life Church, and I think the biggest doors, or I change that, the biggest walls we can knock down is when we all figure out that we're all multiple churches serving one God, and we can do a lot together, a lot more together when we work together than when it's about, oh, this is my church or that church. And so many times churches, if their name or there's not a label on it, they don't want to be a part of it. And when we break down those walls and say, if we all come together to be the church, because biblically the church is the people, not the walls. When we break them down, come together, that's when big things happen. So I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that about the video, and I think that is super cool. I like the concept, and that is an amazing testimony. How about we play the song to kick the show off with?
yeah.
All right, here it is. Adelaide, Strong and Brave on KOUJ 1071, KOUJ.org.
Changing, so we rise up, everybody rise up. Don't look around, just look up and stand your ground. We come together, we need together. Can you feel it, can you hear it,
KUJ 1071, KUJ.org. That is Adelaide with Strong and Brave. I dig that song. You know that debuted here on our Top 7 at 7 a couple weeks ago, right?
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I didn't know if y'all knew y'all was on the charts here a couple weeks ago, but you were. Just a
Fantastic.
little info for you there. But let's talk about Adelaide. For those you don't know and stuff, and you guys are out there, and we've talked to some bands. Breadful Wars actually hit us up a little bit earlier tonight, said they played some shows with you, loved you guys and stuff. So, as we're getting ready, spring and summer's coming up. What's the road looking like for Adelaide? Ooh.
Laura?
Yeah, we haven't gone in full throttle yet. We're still booking for the year, but we're starting really this week, I guess you could say. We've done some youth events. We typically do worship and stuff like that this time of the year because festival season's not quite up and running yet. So my husband does all our booking. Les is here. I don't know. Sometimes he might jump on the phone just to let you know what's going on because he's got it more together than I do.
You said you guys do worship as well, right?
Yeah, we do. We do a lot of like youth conferences, church camps, things like that. We'll lead worship, and when we're in the area doing festivals and stuff like that, we'll stop in on Sunday mornings and do worship at churches that are in the area of festivals that we play at. Right.
What's some contacts for the people tuning in tonight to get a hold of you to book some of this stuff?
Cool. Well, normally my wife does this, but you can go to AdelaideMusic.com, and you can email us at info@AdelaideMusic.com, or you can connect with us on our social media, which is all at Hey Adelaide. That's Facebook.com/Hey Adelaide, Instagram's at Hey Adelaide, and Twitter's at Hey Adelaide.
So everything's at Hey Adelaide.
Yes. And that's a good one. That's a fun one to do at live concerts because my wife's like, hey, everybody say, Hey Adelaide, so and then they all
Hey Adelaide.
And then you go, oh, by the way, that is a .com. That is
yeah.
That is awesome. It is all about marketing yourself. You got to have that niche.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So you guys, if you're familiar, if you tuned into any of the interviews here, you would know that I don't just talk about the band and the music. I am 100% behind wanting to know about the faith and stuff. And you guys already brought it up. So usually I kind of save it toward the end of the interview, but you talk about doing worship. So let's talk about when it was you decided that you were going to go into Christian music ministry, and what was that Jesus moment?
I think all of us have different timelines on this question. So for me personally, I've been involved in worship since I was 14 years old, and started writing about the same time. So I guess worship has been really where my heart is. But every time I sat down and would write a song, and I tried so hard to make it more of like a church, maybe worshipful or something, it just never would come out musically that way. It just didn't fit what you hear in church, So, of course, church music has changed a lot in the last, 15 years.
For the good.
So,
might I add.
Right. So, but in a sense, though, it's kind of structurally changed, like the sound is as far as writing, so you hear a lot more contemporary stuff in church now, and who knows, if I'd have written these songs 15, say not 15 years ago, but today, it would make more sense. But the guys have been playing together for a long time and doing the worship and the live performance for concerts and songwriting and more of that life. So you guys can talk about that. I don't know.
How about
you, Jake, starts or Garrett? Yeah,
I was going to say, yeah. So I guess kind of to start us, me and Jake, our guitar player, we grew up together and have known each other since elementary school. And I think we were both, kind of as far as, realizing that we really, truly needed Christ in our lives. I mean, we were probably, 7 or 8 years old or something like that. And, so we started playing music together, what was it, like summer of 8th grade year or 7th grade year?
Would have been our 7th grade year. We
Yeah,
were, 13 when we started playing together.
How long ago was
Summer.
that?
What?
How long ago was that?
So this year that will have been 15 years ago.
I was going to say, because you're saying 7th grade, and I was like, okay, how young are you, or how long you've been doing this? That's
Yeah, so that would have been in like, oh gosh, I don't know, long time ago.
He said, I don't really know the date, but it was somewhere around the time of Auto Adrenaline and DC Talk.
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I had the Jesus Freak cassette, man, and I wore that thing out.
That is like the biggest Christian rock song of the history. You know, everybody talks about I Can Only Imagine. I was like, hey, before Only Imagine. And, you know, that's a really good song. But there was a song that just kind of, it was the turnaround to where Christian rock was played like everywhere. And now, you know, the Jesus Freak song. So.
Oh yeah, good stuff. But yeah, so we've been playing together since then, and we've, you know, pretty much ever since we started playing, have been doing the band thing and leading worship in different churches, you know, and at one point Jake was the worship pastor, and, you know, I kind of came on to sort of help him and support him in that role, and so, you know, we've just kind of always been doing that. And then we met Eric in high school at a youth camp, actually, and so kind of got hooked up with him, and he sort of joined the crew, and so we've kind of been playing ever since then. I mean, a lot of years collectively between us of playing music, so.
This is definitely a good time for Christian rock. I do believe that God has brought a lot of us all together. I actually got out of radio for the longest time and just started back last year. We're about to do our 1-year anniversary here with the Backstage show. And what I've noticed in this last year, I've been calling it a rock revival. It seems like Christian bands are like screaming Jesus from the stage and stuff again, and seeing a lot of prayers being answered, and it's like churches actually happen at rock shows again. Have you guys been noticing that while you've been out on the tour and stuff?
Absolutely. I think one of our favorite bands to see perform live is 10th Avenue North. It's really cool how they can go from, you know, the show perspective and then make, you know, bring church to it, whether you're inside or outside or what. They've got a really good message. There's a lot of artists out there that, you know, Christian rock especially, like, I don't know, a lot of people, like, we heard that Billboard dropped their Christian rock genre, and it's kind of like, what? Christian rock is like the heart of what we're doing now, because we used to be more like what you'd say pop rock.
Mm-hmm.
And the second album that we're releasing this year is like, you know, taking a tip more towards the rock than pop. But of course, what is genre anymore? Because if you listen to country music, it's pop. If you listen to, you know, rock, it's pop. So everything's kind of gone pop.
Right. Well, we noticed here at KOUJ is that because we are a rock station, not playing a lot of the pop stuff, but what we've noticed over this last year, and especially with like Rockfest records coming out, and you know, a couple weeks ago, like you talk about, Billboard dropped the countdown, and Air One is now an all worship station. The bands that are actually doing Christian rock has like really got together and is making a strong family bold statement. And for the first time ever this year, the Grizzly Awards is coming out with Christian Rock Awards, where it's just all Christian rock. I don't know if you've heard about that yet, but it's definitely a rock revival. A lot of the bands are saying, you know, we're not going to be influenced by the big labels or the money machines out there. We're going to be strong to keep our faith strong to who we are and the calling God has put on us.
Yeah, honestly, I think, this is Les again, I think the Billboard charts dropping off is a good thing for the Christian rock genre. One reason is because it kind of centralizes all the charts to one location now, that it incorporates a lot more stations that are actually rock stations reporting, as opposed to like Billboard had 3 or 4 stations that weren't even playing rock music anymore, but they were still reporting, and you'd see, you know, pop songs in the top 25, top 15, because these stations had a big, you know, with the weighting system that Billboard had. And then the second thing is you know, you'll find that, you know, the artists, the bands, you can't play for your charting positions. You know, the reason you do it should not be about being on a chart or being in a position where you know, you feel like you get notarized. You do it to honor God, and you do it as ministry. Your focus is on the people, and you want to touch people's lives, and you want to impact their lives with the message that God's laid on your heart. And I think that that's one thing you'll discover through this, is that you'll find more artists hopefully finding that focus and rediscovering that. I think a lot of times people get caught up in how we're doing on the charts, and, you know, like that's their measure of success, where true measure of success is in the amount of lives that are being touched, as opposed to the amount of spins you're getting.
See, that's the type of